The transition of these phases is regulated by hormones, organisms' physiology, and the environmental conditions. That is, the change from one phase to next phase is controlled by the hormones produced by the organism and the biochemical reactions taking place in the organism. It is also called physiology, and the climatic conditions or environmental conditions. And these phases are very clearly observed in annuals and biennials, not in perennials. And let us know the meaning of annuals. Annuals are the plants which complete their life cycle in 1 year or less. Example, pea, wheat, etc. Paddy. ಏಕವಾರ್ಷಿಕ ಬೆಳೆಗಳು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ. Biennials are the plants which complete their life cycle in 2 years or less. Example, cabbage. So these plants complete their life cycle less than 2 years or approximately 2 years. Next, perennials. Perennials are the plants that complete their life cycle in more than 2 years. So here their life cycle ranges maybe even to hundreds of years. For coconut it is 100 years, banyan many 100 years. So those are perennials. A few plants are having unusual or peculiar flowering patterns, flowering phenomena. Bamboo plants flowers only once in its lifetime. That is usually after 50 to 100 years. So it is also called monocarpic plant. It flowers only once in its lifetime. It starts usually after 50 to 100 years. So those plants are called monocarpic plants. So bamboo is a monocarpic plant, or this plant flowers only once in its lifetime. Another plant by name Strobilanthus kunthiana. Strobilanthus kunthiana, in Kannada Neelakuranji, it produces flowers once in 12 years. So this plant flowers only once in every 12 years. So these are the plants showing peculiar flowering patterns. Bamboo plants flowering only once in its lifetime, and Strobilanthus kunthiana, also called Neelakuranji, that flowers every 12 years. And organisms can be classified as continuous breeders and seasonal breeders according to their pattern of breeding. Continuous breeders and seasonal breeders. Continuous breeders are the organisms that are active reproductively throughout their reproductive phase. Example, human. From animal side, from plant side, I can give the example of coconut plant. Those are the continuous breeders. So these breeders, these organisms, they are reproductively active throughout their reproductive phase. Seasonal breeders. So these are the organisms that reproduce in some favorable seasons. Example, birds. And if you take plants like mango, jackfruit, they are also seasonal breeders. So they produce flowers and fruits only during favorable seasons of the year. So seasonal breeders are the organisms that reproduce in some favorable seasons. So that's how organisms can be classified as continuous breeders and seasonal breeders. And animals can also be classified as oviparous and viviparous. Oviparous and viviparous. Oviparous organisms in oviparous animals, the female after fertilization lays the eggs and they later hatch into young ones. Those are called oviparous animals. Examples are reptiles, birds. So oviparous animals, in the oviparous animals, the female after fertilization lays the eggs and they later hatch into young ones. Birds and reptiles are the examples. Those are oviparous animals. In viviparous animals, the female after fertilization gives birth to young ones. Example humans and most of the mammals. So in viviparous animals, the female after fertilization gives birth to young ones. Example is humans. That's how animals can be classified as oviparous and viviparous. Let us take the differences between oviparous and viviparous animals. So there are two columns: oviparous animals and viviparous animals. Point 1, under oviparous, the female animal lays eggs after fertilization. In oviparous animals, the female animal lays the eggs after fertilization. Point 1, under viviparous animals, the female gives birth to young ones after fertilization in viviparous animals. So viviparous animals are those, in them the female gives birth to young ones after fertilization. Point 2, under oviparous animals, the eggs or ova are covered by hard calcareous shell. In case of oviparous animals, the eggs are covered by hard calcareous shell. Point 2, under viviparous animals, the ova or eggs are not covered by calcareous shell. Point 3, under oviparous animals, after incubation, young ones are hatched out. After incubation, the young ones are hatched out from the egg. Point 3, under viviparous animals, the zygote develops into young one inside the body of the female. The zygote develops into offspring inside the body of the female parent. The point number 4, under oviparous, chances of survival of young ones or offsprings is less in case of oviparous animals because of predation and adverse climatic conditions. Point 4, under viviparous, survival of young ones is assured by proper embryonic care and protection by the mother. In case of viviparous animals, parental care is assured. The examples for viviparous: reptiles, birds, and for viviparous human beings, mammals.